Good evening, everyone. And we have this evening a discussion about water. Welcome, everyone. I am Miss Bliss. This is Journey to Bliss, and we have the Abundantly Wealthy Stand by popular demand. And we have our sister Tanisha here. And we have two topics that we'd like to discuss this evening. The first one will be, of course, water, and the other one will be lying to your children. So, welcome. Mic check. How are you, David Witherspoon? Welcome. Good evening, Dab Investments. How are those investments going? Good evening, pretty kitty cat. Hey, Miss Bliss. Looking forward to this update, and that's exactly what it will be, an update for you guys. Good evening, SLN. What does SLN stands for? What does that stand for? Good evening, Marsha Butler. Welcome. And of course, welcome, Abundantly Wealthy Stan. Okay, guys, we're going to start off with a conversation about the beautiful, wonderful water, the business of water, all of the intricate details that we didn't share before about water. So, Stanley, do you want to reintroduce yourself again for those who didn't hear the show the last
Yes.
time?
Good evening, everyone. I am Abundantly Wealthy Stan, the fitness, health, and wellness guru.
Hello.
Some also known sometimes to people as Abundantly Wealthy Stan, the Waterman, because wellness with no walls. I like that. But anyway, good
I
evening.
like that.
Yes, good evening. So we're going to talk about the business of water. What is water?
Wait a minute.
It's
Hold on.
H2O.
Yeah, we got a little bit of an echo here. Hold on. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Stanley.
That's okay. What is water? Water is H2O. Water is key and critical for hydration. And what is hydration? It's the replenishment or the adding of water to something so it can be well watered / hydrated. And what do we know about water? And we know a lot of things about water. As I see Miss Bliss drinking her water, what kind of water is that?
This is the water that you gave me, the Kangen water. It's number nine. So you can explain to
9.0.
people the difference. 9.0,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So when people ask me what kind of water is this, I tell them it's healthy, alkaline, antioxidant, microclustered, filtered water. And I can actually say that faster. However, Miss Bliss is drinking healthy Kangen water, aka ionized water, and the word Kangen is a Japanese word that means back to origin. So that water has been ionized through a machine that we call an ionizer that takes the water back to its original state of being alkalized, antioxidant, and super hydrating. Well, actually, it's actually taken to another level in terms of being super hydrating. When you drink, when you drink Kangen water, it hydrates you 10 times better than regular water. You actually absorb 80 to 95% of this water when you drink it because of the ionization process. So she's drinking a pH of 9.0. And people may say, well, what is pH? We hear about it and everybody's hearing about alkaline water. Well, pH stands for potential hydrogen. And that really means the potential hydrogen, how much hydrogen in it, and how either alkaline or acidic water is. And we're talking about the subject of water. For foods and other things can be alkaline or acidic. So when you're looking at the pHs of the water, the Kangen ionizer can make water that's 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5 on that pH scale. Numerically, when you're looking at the level of the pH, it goes actually from 0 to 14. And on a color scale, which I should have one with me, but I don't, it goes from a dark orange to a dark purple. Goes to a dark orange, light orange, yellow, yellowish green, light green, dark green, then blue, and light purple, dark purple, and very dark. So for those of you who haven't seen it, hopefully that paints a reasonable picture for you. So now that I've mentioned that part, let's talk about water and the importance of water in your body. And to make it very simplistic, everything in the body happens in water. There are not too many things that goes on in our body that does not happen in water. From my breathing right now, and you may not be able to see it, but if I take my glasses and breathe on it, it gets a little bit of steam or condensation, which is the water that's coming through my lungs and out of my esophagus and out of my nose. So not only does the breathing, all of our organs are 80% water. Our muscles are 75. Our blood is about 85% water. Our cells are 90% water, and our bones are only 25%. And our joints, depending on where they are and what part, they're somewhere in between that 30 to 70% water, which is why it's important to stay hydrated. So when we're dehydrated, that means our body is not having enough water to function at its peak capacity or its normal capacity. So when you're dehydrated, that means your body is lacking water. You can literally have conditions like allergies, asthma, constipation, high blood pressure, diabetes, liver, kidney, bladder problems, all types of pain, except for that caused by physical trauma. But also you can have things like that's way off, acid reflux, cancer, so many different things can be caused because of dehydration. As a matter of fact, when you are properly hydrated, your body can assimilate the food. That's a pretty big word, but it can properly digest and extrapolate and absorb the nutrients that the food is supplying for you. Now, I said when you're dehydrated, you can have constipation. Now, some of you may have heard that gut health is important. Without proper hydration, many of us get pretty full. My grandma would say, you're full of crap. However, water is the key element for everything. It helps us to be energized. It generates the electricity in our body. And it's amazing. And with our blood being mostly water, 85%, when you're dehydrated, you can get high blood pressure because your blood can be thick. It takes a lot more pressure to pump the blood through the veins and arteries, et cetera, et cetera. So many things can go wrong, which is one of the reasons why when people come to me to improve their health or even maintain it, the first thing I lead with is water. Water is the most important thing. It is the elixir of life. As a matter of fact, I like to explain to people the three most important things to put in your body in this order is air, water, and salt. Yes, I did say that right. Salt. As a matter of fact, there's a book that I have, and I may not have it here, but the title of the book is Water and Salt, Your Healers from Within. And then I have another book. It's called The Water Prescription. You may not be able to see it, but I'll put it in the chat. But
Hold
the
on.
water.
I'll zoom in on you.
Okay.
All right, go
The
ahead.
water prescription. Okay, so it doesn't like this. Okay.
What is the
But anyway,
title?
it's called The Water Prescription. Can you see it
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, in the water prescription, this Christopher Vassy, he's a nutritional doctor. He says that proper hydration can prevent diseases, our diseases that we have. Proper hydration can help us avoid being overweight because water helps to flush out fat, breaks down things, detoxes our body. So the business of water is big business as far as our body is concerned. Yes, book water prescription. And then there's another book that I have, and hopefully you can see it, and you can see this one better.
Okay, hold on. Let
You're
me
not
zoom in
sick.
on.
You're not sick. You're thirsty. Okay. Yes. You're not sick. You're thirsty. Very good book. And this is by Dr. Batmangalij, Dr. Batman. But if you just Google the title, you will find the book. You don't necessarily need the author, and then the author will comes up. And as time is water for health, for healing, for life. And then there's another book, which I just so happen to have. Your body's many cries for water. Our diseases are our body's cries for water. Dehydration can cause lower back pain. So many different things that we find to be caused by something else, but it can really seriously be just from dehydration. And then there's one other book that I like to talk about. Is the title of this book is What Drugs Kill. How Water Cured Incurable Diseases. Now, these books are just books about the importance of water. It has nothing to do with the healthy ionizer that we talk about. But the key factor in the healthy ionizer is it helps to take our waters that have been contaminated and kind of jacked up, and it takes it back to its original state of being healthy, alkalized, and antioxidant, which is an added feature. So it makes it more like H3O, hydrogen water. It has extra hydrogen molecules. And so the business of water is extremely important to understand. And when I work with anybody, the first thing I do is ask them, not just how's your hydration, but how much water do you drink? And Miss Bliss, what do you think the first comment that people are going to say when asked, how much water do you drink? Did you hear me, Miss Bliss? Okay. Did you hear me, Tanisha?
I hear you.
Okay, so what's the first response? When I ask the question, how much water do you drink? What do most people say?
Maybe 8 glasses, or maybe not enough. I know for
Not
me,
enough.
not enough.
Most people say not enough. Exactly. We know we're not drinking enough, but we don't strive to find out what that is. So we're going to talk about that. There is no specific, exact set amount of water that every person has to drink, because our water requirements and water needs vary from person to person. However, most of us think, well, when my body needs water, it'll tell me because it'll make me thirsty. Well, that's true and not so true. By the time you get that urge or that indication that you are thirsty, it is too late. Your body is in emergency mode. We need to drink before we are thirsty. The other issue that people have with water when they get thirsty, water is not the first thing we reach for. Isn't that right, Miss Tanisha?
Yes, that's correct.
One of the things I used to reach for was whatever was liquid. What about you, Miss Tanisha? What would you reach for first?
Sometimes it would be tea.
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 Okay. But we don't think about reaching for water. That's the first thing we should think about drinking first thing in the morning when we wake up. Pure, clean H2O, H3O water is the first thing we need to reach for because it jump starts our body. It's the best thing to put in your body after being on that fast of sleeping. Most of us do not eat while we're asleep. And the first meal of the day, we usually call it breakfast or break fast. So water, again, water does everything in the body, and everything in the body happens in water. And another importance of water, which will bring in the importance of another thing I make sure my clients know, the importance of exercise is extremely important. It's just as important as water because it keeps all 12 of our bodily systems and subsystems working properly. Most of us just think about exercising so we don't be too fat or too flabby or too weak. And yes, exercise is good for strengthening the muscles, but it also strengthens your bones, your tendons. It helps to strengthen your mind. You have to think when you exercise. Yes, your brain is engaged. So when you exercise, and just to give you a bit of a process, even when you start walking and you start a nice little pace, the first thing happens, you start breathing a little bit heavier or deeper. So that's your respiratory system. Your heart starts beating faster so it can pump blood through your body faster. So as the blood picks up oxygen from your lungs, because you're breathing deeper, so as to take the oxygen to all parts of the body that needs the energy giving oxygen. Also, as you start walking, your muscular system, your respiratory system, your skeletal system is moving, your cardiovascular system is moving, your lymphatic system starts working even better, and your nervous system is working because you have to think about picking up the pace. So all of these things. Oh, and another thing that happens as our body starts warming up, what do we start doing, Miss Bliss?
When we're drinking, drink water.
No, as we just exercise, what does our body automatically start doing
You start
as it
sweating.
warms up? Sweating. Start sweating. So now, the largest organ of our body, and also it is a system, is called the integumentary system. Very important system, very important organ, the largest organ of the body, and it has a system that does many things. So when we sweat, the water is coming through the pores and we're detoxing. We can have beads of water coming out. Water's just pouring out, but it's also our cooling system. It's cooling off our body. That's another good reason to exercise because you're pushing toxins out of your body through your integumentary system or through your skin. And a lot of times when we don't cleanse our skin from the inside out, we have buildup of toxins. So it's very important to understand that. That's what we need. Now, some of us may want to understand about why we sweat under our arms, because that's another place where we're discharging toxins. So sweating is important. And what role does water play in that? Pushing toxins out from your armpits and other places that are closed in that do sweat is an important factor. So when you use an antiperspirant, that means you're putting it under your armpits so that you don't perspire. Stop doing that. You need to perspire because perspiring is part of the body's detoxification process. You're not detoxing. So when you put on an antiperspirant / deodorant, that's filled with chemicals. You're clogging your pores and you're pouring toxic chemicals on your body, whether you spray, roll it on. You need to be very careful. The business of water is extremely important. Another factor about water, we use it to wash the outside of our bodies. For those of us who do take showers, baths, wash up, we're washing it off. Okay? In terms of sitting in a bathtub, water is therapeutic on our bodies, which is why it's good to get in the ocean. It's good to swim, not in a concrete tub of bleach. Because when you go to swimming pools, that's what they use to clean the water, bleach. And bleach does kill a lot of bacteria, but it's also killing good stuff in our bodies. So we have to be careful. As a matter of fact, most women, when they clean their house and they're using bleach or products that contain bleach, they put on what on their hands, Miss Bliss?
The gloves, the rubber cleaning
Rubber
gloves.
gloves. But when we go swimming, we swim in the stuff that we want to protect our hands from. So again, be careful. However, water is therapeutic over the outside and the insides of our bodies. People who start getting dementia and old timers disease, as my daughter called it, it happens because the brain is malnourished and dehydrated. You can literally build your brains up by being properly hydrated, making sure it's properly nourished, and you need to exercise your brain. And so when you're physically exercising, when you do new exercises, you engage your brain. So you have to stay involved. So keeping your brain working is good. And there are brain exercises to do. And water is extremely important for focus, cognitive processing of the brain. The business of water, everything about life is about water. Nothing lives without water in terms of living things. So now we did talk about Kangen water. Kangen water, again, is water that goes through an ionization process. We have an ionizer, and it changes the structure of the water, and it's called structured water or electrolyzed reduced water, and it makes that water much more effective in your body. One, because it's super hydrating, so you're absorbing 80 to 95% of that water. So if you drank 16 to 20 ounces of Kangen water straight, you will not be bloated. And the bloating is because regular water is clustered, the bigger molecules, so it stays in your stomach longer, as opposed to being absorbed through the stomach and then through the intestines and cleansing out your gut and your digestive system. It kind of sits in, kind of almost is rerouted straight to your bladder, as opposed to going throughout your body and doing the things that water does. People with asthma, breathing problems, dehydration is part of the cause. When you're properly hydrated, you can do that. Now, there's another book, and I don't have it here. However, allergy. Okay.
What's the name of the book? What was the name of the book?
That was interesting.
What is it called?
Oh, the ABCs of asthma, allergies, and lupus. The ABCs of asthma, allergies, and lupus. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, that book explains in great detail what happens when our bodies is lacking water aka dehydrated, that cause those things. When we look at the importance of water, when you're eating, the assimilation of your food, digestion, as well as elimination. Very, very key and critical to understand that part of the water process, or should I say, the role that water plays in that process of eating. Because your body takes what it needs and gets rid of what it does not need. And when you're not properly hydrated, I believe I said a little bit earlier, you're not going to be cleaning out your colon, your gut, and many other areas of your body. So that's why we also need to have the water when we're eating and water when we're drinking our healthy teas made with our fresh herbs. And the healthy teas, not the tea that's in a can or in a bottle. That's pasteurized, and sometimes they put the preservatives so it lasts longer. And another thing, even though you may make your tea with good, clean, fresh water, does tea last 2 weeks in your refrigerator, Miss Bliss? No, it
No,
goes
sir, it
bad.
does not. Mhm.
Right. So how do they get tea to last in a can or a bottle? They do add things as preservatives, which are the chemicals that are not good for us. So sometimes being in that vacuum is helpful, but not what you need. So you want to drink your water fresh as possible. As a matter of fact, I like to ask people this question: if we were going to settle in a new land, the group of us on this live podcast, where would we settle? Near the lake, the stream, or the pond? Miss Tanisha, what would you say? Near the lake, the stream, or the pond?
The lake.
The lake, what would
Oh,
you say, Miss Bliss?
stream.
Yeah, I think Tanisha changed it to stream, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I would say a fresh water.
Freshwater, lake, stream, or pond?
Stream.
Stream. And you both are correct because stream is moving water. It's moving water. It's live. When water sits stagnant, or when water's sitting, it becomes stagnant and stink and so forth and so on. So it needs to keep moving. So the business of water for us in living, it is extremely important. Do not take it lightly. To not be properly hydrated is to not be properly hydrated is to say that you want your body to not last and break down. Somebody have a question. What about ocean water? Okay. I guess I can answer that now. Ocean water is extremely healthy when it's clean. And I've been to places where ocean water was so clear. I could see people standing up to their chest and I can still almost see their body in the water 12, 20 feet out. That's good,
Yes.
clean ocean water. And the salt content is very healthy for you, but we can't drink it. Now, there are some countries that drink ocean water, but they do a desalination of it. They take the salt out and they have clean water. I know Aruba is one of those places. And Aruba is such a pretty place, but I'm not doing a commercial for Aruba. However, ocean water is very healthy. I love the beach. I love being in the ocean water. It is therapeutic. It is actually even medicinal. Very, very good for you. And when I said earlier, the three most important things to put in your body is air, water, and salt.
Oh.
Salt plays a significant part in our body's health. As a matter of fact, I want to put a little emphasis on that. When you're in the ocean, the salt water is really helping you, very medicinal. And many times, if you've been in the bathtub and you get wrinkled, it doesn't happen as easily when you're in good, fresh ocean water. It's really good. It's healthy. It invigorates you, whether it's
Yeah.
warm or even a little bit cool. Now, I'm not one of those people that jump in the ocean during the wintertime. No. However, I have been to a spa where I've gone to warm water, hot water, cold water, extremely cold, and those processes are good sometimes.
You're
However,
good.
I'm not
Sis.
going to the ocean
I
and doing
can't
that.
do it.
I'm not part of
I
the
can't
polar
do
bear. Exactly. However, show you how important salt is. When someone's checked into a hospital, they could have passed out. Blood pressure could be 250 over 220. What's the first IV they connect to them?
The saline.
Saline.
Saline, salt. Why? They're extremely dehydrated and it brings their blood pressure down very fast and very effectively. That's another important thing on salt. And we can have many conversations about this, but today it's about the business of water. Water has cured incurable diseases. And there's one other book I do want to talk about, which does relate to the business of water. And the title of this book is We Don't Die, We Kill Ourselves. Our foods are killing us. We don't die, we kill ourselves. Our foods are killing us. So when it comes to eating and eating food, it is important to eat the right foods. Now, even when it comes to hydration, and somebody even asked the question today, when now people are saying, health professionals say, eat your water. It is not like you're going to be able to eat enough foods that's filled with water to be hydrated enough. However, when you're eating foods that are filled with water, like watermelon, and most melons, fruits, vegetables, you're getting dense nutrition. You're getting nutritionally dense foods, as well as the healthy water that's in those foods. And obviously, if you're eating your water, you're talking about a plant-based type of diet. I'm not one to force anything on anyone. I'm not a vegan because someone has to keep the chicken population down. Okay. However, just kidding. However, I'm sorry. However, that's the healthier diet. That's where we can get our iron. There's people, as a matter of fact, I met a new client today and they said they were taking iron pills. Well, your iron's low because you're deficient and you should be getting that from your foods. Now, you could be eating pretty good food. However, if you're not properly hydrated, you could be missing the iron, the magnesium, the potassium, and so many different things that are in the food that your intake of water, your proper hydration will help you to assimilate and absorb. So, Miss Bliss, do you have any questions? Or Miss Tanisha?
Yes.
Yes.
I have some questions. I noticed that we have a few women on, and even for
Mhm,
the men who have daughters or wives or mothers,
mhm.
I wanted to ask the question about the beauty water.
Okay.
The beauty water being out added on the external part of the women, and
Mhm.
also the beauty water being added internally for the women. Is it safe?
Okay. Beauty water is not to be drink. Is not to be for you to drink. Beauty water is for your hair, your skin, and someone told me it was very good for feminine hygiene. Now, I do not have that issue. Okay.
Well,
In
it's
addition
not
to,
really an issue for some of us. It's just about maintenance,
right,
Sharon.
it's a
It's just
maintenance.
about,
When I say I don't have that issue, I don't have that issue of maintaining that way.
oh, that part. Okay.
That's
That's why I
true.
said feminine hygiene. Okay. However,
That's
now,
nice
by
to
the
know.
way, Miss Bliss asked me about beauty water. The ionizer actually makes seven types of water, which is different pH levels. The beauty water is slightly acidic. It's a pH of 4.5 to 6.0, depending on how you make it with the ionizer. And so the beauty water being close to the pH of the skin is great for your skin and hair. However, Miss Tanisha, she hasn't used it since people got on the call. But what was one of the first things you did, Miss Tanisha? What is that? She has a spray bottle. What's in that bottle?
This is my beauty water. So I was
That's,
perspiring a little bit before the show began.
you were
Getting
perspiring a little bit.
getting flashes. So I
Okay. So beauty water is excellent for stopping hot flashes. How quickly?
like that. Really
Instantly.
rapid. It's the instantly. One time I had to spray it like 2 times, but it definitely works. So I keep it
Yes.
nearby.
Yes.
So wait a
So
minute, hold on, just for clarity for the ladies. When you get hot flashes, you're saying that you spray the beauty water only on your face or all over your body?
I
Oh, you
sprayed it
put
on
that
my
all on
face
the chest and
and my
neck.
chest.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. Okay.
And I just
Okay.
learned something new yesterday. Learned that it assists with pain. So I
yes.
actually there's something because my neck and shoulders been hurting for a couple of weeks, like every day. So actually today is feeling better than when I spoke to y'all yesterday. It's not actually really bothering me right now. So it definitely it assists.
Okay. Now, for that pain, it's more topical and like for your muscles and where you may be having some pain. However, if it's sciatica or pinched nerve, uh, sorry, beauty water is not going to stop that pain.
Oh no, not the drink. No.
However, I have had reports of, like you just gave me, Miss Tanisha, as well as someone said their wrist was hurting because they had the carpal tunnel and their wrist was hurting them at night. And they thought about it and they got the beauty water and rubbed it on their wrist and it helped. It helped.
I want to
Okay,
also
so
add
that's
that
the application.
this helps also 9.0. If you're drinking it, it also helps with aches and pains in the body.
It helps the what?
With aches and pains in the body, like if you're working
It
out
does.
or if you have any and you're
Yes.
drinking the 9.0, it helps.
And the 9.5. Now, when I work out, and I'm an old guy, and I do a heavy workout, I will drink 9.5 because one, I actually have more energy, and it's not psychological, y'all. I have more energy. In addition to, I find that I don't feel the soreness as much. Now, I also do other nutritional things. In terms of supplements, which I don't do a lot, I usually like to do my nutrients within my diet and my eating. However, because I don't really take the right amount of time to do that, so I do supplementation, but I do also do a lot of herbs. So the 9.5 will give you more energy and helps you recover faster when exercising and even getting some of that soreness if you do a little bit much. Now, by the way, I didn't tell everybody, I am also a certified personal fitness trainer. I got certified, way back when I was 55. And so I teach and coach and train people in terms of physical fitness, nutrition, and wellness coaching. And so when you're exercising, exercise should never hurt. That whole statement and what do they call that? A mantra, no pain, no gain. Please don't buy into that. The only time that makes sense if you're trying out for the NBA, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, or some sports team or boxing. You're gonna get in the ring with Mike Tyson? No, don't forget about that. However, exercise should not hurt. Exercise should not hurt. Can you push yourself a little bit? Yes, but do not cause the pain because you can actually cause yourself very subtle injuries that you don't feel right away. So you definitely want to be careful, especially for those of us who are over 50 or if you haven't been exercising in a long while. So even if you're in your 30s. However, getting back to this topic, the business of water is extremely important. So since you mentioned the beauty water, which is slightly acidic, not for drinking consumption, then we're going to talk. You mentioned the 9.0, but the drinking waters, the 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5. I don't see it. I have not seen a difference between 8.5 and 9.0, but I see the difference in the 9.5 and the 8.5. And I don't drink 9.5 every day, all day. I fluctuate. I found that I want to make sure I'm not doing too much, but I do drink anywhere from 2 to 4 quarts of water per day, especially when I'm exercising. There's some days I may drink 5 quarts or maybe even, yeah, 5 quarts, over a gallon, but it depends on what I'm doing. And I'm not usually pushing myself that hard because I'm looking to take care of this body, keep it built up and strong, but not overdo it. So that's the drinking waters. Now, the ionizer also makes two other waters, the 2.5 strong acidic water and the 11.5, which is a strong alkaline water. Oh, and by the way, when I mentioned the 11.5, the 11.5 is good for taking pesticides off your fruits and vegetables. Even if you buy organic, if you have an ionizer, use the 11.5 because sometimes organic fruits and vegetables can have pesticide residue on it because sometimes they grow the organic fruits and vegetables in the field right next to the regular. And when they spray the pesticides, insecticides, herbicide, homicide on those fruits and vegetables, they're doing it with an airplane. So it's being spread. So it's not always very separate unless you just have a healthy farm and they're not doing it because they're just doing pure organic. So wash off your organic fruits and vegetables with the 11.5. The 11.5 will clean your oven. No more caustic oven cleaners, and where you can still put the rubber gloves on if you have stuff up in there and grease and caked on things, but it will clean that. It will also clean your stainless steel sink, which sometimes gets stains that just won't scrub out.
Yep.
The 11.5 would do that. Now, I used to use the 11.5 to do my laundry. I would let my washing machine fill up to whatever level I was cleaning. And I was initially told to put 32 ounces, but I put 64 ounces of 11.5 in my laundry, especially when I'm doing my whites, because I like my white underwear to be white. So I'm not putting bleach in it anymore, which also erodes the material, and the underwear they wear out quicker. They last longer when you don't add the bleach. But I'll put 64 ounces of 11.5. My clothes come clean, white and colors. But what I learned a few years ago, you can use the beauty water to clean your clothes. No detergent. Clean. Now, when you do have stains, if it's the collar of your shirt, which can get a little dirty, but it's more so the oils from your neck or maybe even your hair, and that may get a little black, you can pour a little 11.5 on there because it emulsifies with oil, so it tends to break that up because it's a high pH, and put it in, clean. So if you have stains, the 11.5 will do that. Now, the 2.5, the strong acidic water, is very strong. It kills 99.9% of all germs, just like Lysol. And independently lab tested, it kills 100 bacteria faster than bleach. And yet it is non-toxic. They call that pH level water hypochloric acid, but it's not acidic, it's not caustic. So that's more about the waters that the ionizer make. However, you need to know the importance of water in your body. So my talking about the Kangen water and the water that comes out of ionizer, it's great for inside of your body, outside of your body. I've gone green. I have not bought laundry detergent, bleach, deodorant, toothpaste, mouthwash, or foot spray in over 13 years. So that means I might have saved some money or not spending money on those things. But my biggest excitement is I've gone green. In my white t-shirts, I do not have those dark stains on my armpit that comes from that deodorant. And that starts with, and it wouldn't get clean. And I did not like that. Not at all. Now I don't have that issue. I'm a lot healthier. And at my age, I'm on nobody's medications and no health issues. As a matter of
Yes.
fact, my knees are good. I can sit in a chair without a chair, and my knees do not scream and yell. So,
Mhm.
any other
And
questions?
remove and
I
remove
have a
tension,
question.
pain within the body.
I was
Go ahead.
thinking about the Kangen water yesterday. I was interested to know, like, in countries where they have parasites in the water, would they address that issue as well?
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
The Kangen ionizer does have a pretty good dual carbon antibacterial filter, and so parasites cannot get through that. But if you're talking about some other chemicals, there are filtration systems that places need. As a matter of fact, I met a guy when I was in Canada. He had purchased an ionizer for his family in Belize, and the filter kept getting clogged. That's how bad their water was. So there, sometimes when you have places that have very bad water, you may need to get a pre-filtration system that will get the heavy gook and stuff out. So, but if you have a place that have waters that's not really drinkable, or they call that potable, however you pronounce that, then you definitely need to have it cleaned. The ionizer has that good filter in it to make the water cleaner so you get better results after it goes through the ionization process. However, it's not meant to be a complete filtration system. Because I
Mm.
actually, 11 years ago, took a trip to Nigeria with a guy. He actually lives here in the States in California. He wanted me to go there. I actually made water for his entire wedding party, but he has been drilling for good water in many of the states in Nigeria because a lot of places don't have good water. So, yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Mm.
Miss
Nice,
Bliss.
nice, nice. Yes, we have a question. Hold on, let
Yes.
me see. Have you heard about Flint, Michigan? Would it help?
Uh,
Flint, Michigan is that place where they had like a water problem. I don't know exactly what happened, but I think the water in the land near the area was somehow filled with toxins or something from some company that spilled something in the ground. I think I have it correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
yes,
And then it
yes,
went into the systems of the household.
yes,
So
something, yes, something
would
like
it
that.
help with that, or would they need like an extra filtration system?
Yeah, I would say, well, it would definitely help. However, when it comes to water filtration, which I learned a little bit more about after being into the whole health and wellness, when it comes to water filtration systems, you need to get a water filtration system that will take care of the types of contaminants that's in that area. And that's one of the things you want to look at. Now, reverse osmosis is one of those complete filtration systems. However, it takes out bad minerals and good minerals. So people who purchase a reverse osmosis system need to buy a system that will remineralize the water with the good minerals, and you got to have it done right with the good quality. So because when minerals get in water, it gets there because on the stream the water is going over rocks and it's picking up the minerals
Mhm.
and sizes and proportions that the water absorbs so we can have those minerals. So that's important. However, when you have other toxins, you have to have a filtration system that will get out those toxins but not take out good stuff. And that takes some
Mm.
studying and research and doing. So to say that our ionizer would be the solution overall, I do not know that the filter that's in our system would be good enough to take all those toxins out. So
Okay.
yes,
Okay, so it just depends on where you're living at and what you're dealing with, in what city, state, or country. So you would have to do the research, do your due diligence, find out what's in your water, what's going on, because you may need something in addition to the ionizer, and then that, of course, depends on where you're at.
Correct. The ionizer was built and made. As a matter of fact, the company is called Enagic, and it's been around 50 years. As a matter of fact, this year made 50 years. They've been around since 1974, been in the United States since 2003, and currently in about 28 countries with about 44 locations. And the inventor or creator of this ionizer system knew that most waters are not clean. So he came up with different types of filters, and they have changed over the years, and there's a newer one that they have. However, again, it's not meant to take care of all the water needs. Most people need a water filtration system for their home, period, in general. However, for the drinking water, you want it to be made healthier by alkalizing it as well as making it antioxidant. Oh, one other thing. Everybody's talking about alkaline water, and you can buy it in stores and buy it in bottles. Now, I think I said in the beginning, water does not have a shelf life. Now, so if you want to store water, you want to put it in a dark container. Metal could be good. Glass, dark, limit the exposure to sunlight, and big varying ranges in temperature. But water doesn't really have a shelf life. So when you get an alkaline water in a bottle, that's not even naturally alkaline. Spring water is naturally alkaline. However, when you test the pH and you put the drops in, the bluer or darker it is, the more alkaline it is, but it doesn't mean it's antioxidant and that's good for you. However, spring waters, when they're fresh, it is alkaline, it is good for you. But by the time you get it in those bottles, it's been on your store shelves, it's been sitting in those bottles 6 months to a year by the time we get it. Because the Fiji company, the company that goes to the island of Fiji and get that good spring water, they don't do a bunch of cases, put it on a jet plane and send it to the East Coast, the West Coast. No, it's sitting in those bottles for months. And when it comes on those ships, it's not as fast as a jet plane. And when the ship docks, it's not unloaded instantly. It takes time. Sometimes they sit out in the docks in the sun, in the cold, until they can take it inside. They take them to distribution centers, and then they're distributed. And then when it goes to when you have supermarket chains, whether it's Giant, ShopRite, or Piggly Wiggly, they have distribution centers for their X number of stores. So they sit there, and then they determine where they're sitting in the bottles way too long, especially the plastic bottle. And the biggest problem with plastic bottles is how long the liquids are sitting in them. Because the longer it sits, the more the plastic has a chance to leach into the water, especially when you have varying temperatures and the bottles are expanding and contracting.
Yes, I was just about to say, when you mentioned temperatures, like in the summertime and we're outside and the bottles are sitting, the plastic bottles are sitting in the sun, and then we take those same plastic bottles and we put it in the freezer, and then now the water inside those plastic bottles are frozen. So you're saying with all those different temperatures, the more you're activating that bottle, the more it's going inside of the water.
Correct. Now, the biggest chemical in the plastic bottles, they're talking about BPA. I can't even remember how to pronounce it. I did pronounce it correct once. However, that's not the only, but
I think you froze.
that's the most water. So, but when you buy the did I just go out?
You froze for a moment. So what were you saying?
I can hear you.
So when you talk about buying alkaline water in a bottle that's been sitting on shelves, one is purified water. Two, they add chemicals to it, things like calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, and whatever. It sounds like a chemistry experiment. When you buy water, what's the only ingredient that should be in it? Water.
Water.
So that makes the water alkaline. But if you put pH drops in it and it turns purple, if you take a straw and blow into it for 10, 15 seconds, it will become acidic, which means that even though it has a pH of 8, 9, or whatever, your body is not going to respond to it the same. Not at all. So you want a water that is naturally alkalized, like spring water, getting it as fresh as you can, or having your own ionizer. So you're drinking your water fresh on a daily basis.
Nice. So I have a question. Someone asked
Yes.
me, can I drink this water and still eat my pork chops, fried chicken, macaroni and cheese,
Of
and
course you can.
I'll be
Of course.
better?
No, listen. Of course you can drink this water and eat all the same garbage foods. The water would be helping you, but it's not going to stop the damage of those foods. As a matter of fact, I usually tell people, because there are people who have the ionizer, they sell it, and when people drink this water, they have good reactions like Tanisha, hot flash is gone. Some people drink the water and they have their symptoms are reduced on different situations, whether it's high blood pressure, their blood sugar. It does help. And it's a good thing, but it's not the only thing we need to do. We need to, as I mentioned earlier, we need to exercise. You definitely have to eat right. And I tell people, I say, well, just suppose drinking this great Kangen water will stop 50% of the damage that you're doing to your body through your lousy diet. Would that be good?
Yes.
Would that be a good thing, Ms. Bliss? Yes. However,
Yes.
50% of the damage that's still left is really becomes 100% damage because it's still damage.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. It's just like if somebody punches you in one eye, if somebody usually punch you in two eyes and bust your nose, that's a lot of damage. But after that, they just punch you in one eye, not the other eye, and don't bust your nose. It's still damage. The goal is to have no damage. So when somebody asks you that question, you tell them, yes, it will be helpful. You could still eat what you want to eat. And it doesn't matter what you eat if you have not decided you want to experience optimal health. And that's the other thing. What is your goal? Do you really want to experience optimal health? If you do, then you need to start doing things that's going to keep your body healthy, keep your body stronger. And it was Hippocrates. They called him the father of modern medicine. He has a lot of quotes. They were good. The only one I remember, he said, let your food be your medicine and let your medicine be your food.
Yes, absolutely.
And remember that book. For those of you who didn't hear it, the book written by Dr. Matt Mangalich, Water Cures, Drugs Kill. And this is the book that talks about the importance of water and how people have used water to cure incurable diseases. And it's not Kangen water, it is the importance of water. But when you're looking at quality of water, you really want your quality of water to be the best quality so your body will get the best results. Any other questions?
Yes. My question is, what about fasting? So I do fast. If someone wanted to do a 1-day water fast, what water would you recommend, or does it even matter?
In terms of the water from the ionizer? Because you know, yes.
Yes.
I'm going to. So when you're fasting has very good medicinal and therapeutic benefits to it. So you're fasting to let your body abstain from the foods and give your body a chance to cleanse even better. The 9.5 would be good because it does go through you, seem like a lot faster. It helps to flush and it helps you detox. And as a matter of fact, the one thing I learned the hard way, my health coach had to tell me, I had given my Kung Fu instructor 5 gallons of water. I saw him one day at class. I said, you drink a lot of water? He said, oh yeah, I drink water all the time. I said, I want you to try this water. So I made him 9.5 because he said he drinks a lot of water. Made him 5 gallons. I didn't see him the following week. I saw him about a week or two later. And yeah, about 2 weeks later, maybe 3, I said, so how'd you like the water? He said, man, you gave me that water. I downed it, man. I got sick as a dog. I had to go to the doctor. I didn't understand why. My health coach told me that was a detox reaction, and it was too impactful. It was too much at one time. So sometimes you could be detoxing. You can get headaches when you're detoxing. You can have flu-like symptoms when you're detoxing. See, you could eat pretty decent and still be acidic. It's just like when you take a goldfish out of dirty water and put it in clean water, it can die just like that. Too much cleanness. So when I give people water, I give them 8.5. I do not let them take the 9.5 unless they ask for it, and I let them know. You might have a detox reaction. It's not usually big, but if you do drink a lot, your body's going to be like, whoa, it likes it, but it doesn't feel good. I guess it's just like, has anybody's parents ever given them castor oil when they were little, especially when the seasons change? Oh, I could tell you did, right? Look at that face.
Yes.
Yeah, right? My mother used to. And what was it? It was almost like Roto-Rooter. You're going to the bathroom all day. And my mother used to heat it up and squeeze an orange into it. Fresh orange juice. She would squeeze it with her hands.
That don't even help.
Well, no, it helped because the oranges are very antioxidant. So it helped to push it out of you. However, my point is, now, even when people, when I talk to people health-wise and they say they want to detox or cleanse, they think of that and they're afraid of it. No, you can do detoxes and cleanses that's not that drastic. Okay? And you want to do them. There's teas you can do, but the 9.5 gives a big more emphasis on detoxing your entire body. Yes.
So when you gave me this 9 and you and Tanisha and I was drinking this, by the time I got home, I did feel a difference. And I was like, I said, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm up for the challenge. I want 9.5. But Miss Bliss is really, I'm a heavy hitter. But
well, listen, you can try the 9.5. And again, it's with my Kung Fu instructor, he drank 5 gallons and probably did it in almost 5 days straight. So that was a lot of nice high pH, and his body was trying to adjust, but he was detoxing, was pushing toxins out real quick and real good. So yes. Okay. Any other questions?
Tanisha, any questions? For a
person who's not like too physically active, they should stay away from the 9.5 or just periodically have
the 9.5. The 9.5 is good. And you don't have to be athletic and working out an hour a day, but it is good and it's good. But you start off with the 8.5 and get a feel for it. And a lot of times, and by the way, Miss Bliss, I'm glad you did tell me you could feel the difference. And a lot of people won't necessarily feel the difference right away. Some people will. If your body is at a deficit, like very acidic, and you won't know your body's acidic. And most of us don't pay attention to our bodies, okay? However, if your body is acidic, then you want to ease it to the good alkaline level. And when you test your body's pH, there's 3 ways with test: your blood, your urine, and your saliva. That's kind of like the before, during, and after, so to speak, to see where you are. And yes, so those are the ways you can't. It's like almost impossible to over alkalize your stomach, which is very acidic, because it's like a two, and it would take a whole lot of water to do that. And you're not pouring it in like flushing. You're drinking, a glass, a half a glass at a time.
And
So
as I
yeah.
drink it, you do feel it like moving through the cells and cooling down.
That
I definitely
that's
feel
what
it,
I was
like
about to
working
say.
its way
So
through my
it's
cells.
especially if you're taking like any natural herbal treatments to do anything
Mm-hmm.
to heal your body, because I'm doing that also. I'm also taking the olive leaf extract from the brother that we had on the channel a couple of weeks ago, and then I drank
Okay.
this water,
And my neighbor
and
has.
it's like the water activated it, or I could feel the response almost immediately. And Tanisha's right, like it's like you could almost feel like it going through your body, like your cells activating. And I was like, wow, oh my goodness. I definitely noticed a difference, definitely.
So let
And
let
so
let, let me. Mhm. No, go ahead.
go ahead.
Finish. No,
I was
you
going to
finish.
say, if you wanted to speak about drinking the water, and if it helps with like relaxation and calming you and helping you with sleep.
Okay. Water is good for relaxation. It's good for energizing. Water is good for everything that goes on. So yes, you can. I would not recommend drinking 9.5 to relax. However, even when you do like your chamomile teas, your lavenders, the different teas, they have a nice calming effect. It's because of the polyphenols and other different nutrients that affect your brain, your mind, and the rest of your body. Because every cell in our body has intelligence, so it does respond nicely. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I saw in the book, You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty, when you're dehydrated, you're prone to mood swings. People who are moody, I guarantee you, they start drinking more water, they will not be as moody. Now, there are just some people that's just mean and grumpy. They just need their butt whipped. But no, but seriously, when you're dehydrated, you get mood swings because we got to understand our body functions on electrical impulses and chemicals. So if your brain isn't firing properly, just like your car can misfire, things are going to be off. So it is also that perfect balance of everything. That's why there's not just one thing that's going to get your body right or get rid of a dis-ease or a disease. It's a whole combination of things so that your body's working properly.
Mm. And it also helps with meditation. So any of you guys are meditating, water would help you to sit and to focus in your meditations. And even if you're not going through any menopause or anything, or you're doing a meditation, spray that water on you anyway, and see if you can activate that third eye, that crown chakra, that throat chakra. Why not test it out and see how it works for you, and then give us a response with your results. So we have the phone number, and we have also the email scrolling at the bottom here. I want you guys to please reach out and call Abundantly Wealthy Stan and get more information about the ionizer and more information about the water, and definitely try it and just see if you notice the results and if you're better. Yes. Tanisha, do you have any questions or any comments? I think you're muted. Tanisha, you muted? Can you hear me? She might be going out. I don't know. She can't hear us. Well, I think that's all of our questions in closing. Again, the email is abundantlywealthystan@gethydratedtoday.com. And the phone number is scrolling at the bottom. You guys reach out if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to know about healing your body, anything you want to know about the benefits of the water, because Stanley can definitely give you some examples from some of the people that he has worked with and how he has assisted them on their journey and their healing process. And of course, you can reach out to me also. You guys know Tanisha if you're following her on Instagram. So we're both drinking the water, and we can definitely give a testimony as to the wonderful experience we've been having with the water. And I will definitely continue to, thanks for the cool live. You're welcome. I will definitely continue to keep you guys abreast regarding my journey in the water because um, I'm trying the different water. So I don't have the beauty water right now. I just have the 9.0. And as you know, I already requested the 9.5. So I will let you guys know how that goes because I'm ready for the journey on that. I'm gonna go in on that. Tanisha, you said you can't hear. You want to go out and come back in? Okay, she's gonna come back in a few
She
minutes.
just did.
Yeah, she just did. Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely keep you guys abreast and post it regarding my journey with the water. I'm also doing a little bit of experiments with some of the community in the Tantra community with the water because a lot of Tantra has to do with water and activating the water within you and the water elementals around you. So we definitely need to make sure while we're practicing Tantra that we have the best water possible. And these are the best waters possible. So I will keep you posted on that. I also want to say that if you are taking any psychedelics, another thing that I noticed is that when you're taking various psychedelics, it depends on which one you're journeying with. When I drank the water, that the activation was a lot more I guess you could say is a lot more noticeable, a lot more powerful. I did not have to take as much, and the experience was a lot smoother for me while taking psychedelics. So with psychedelics and Tantra, if you're on that journey, you want to try this water. If you're into health and healing and you want to change your diet, you want to learn more about working out, reach out to the brother Stanley and you can find out more about fitness. He is also, I think we mentioned on the last live, he's also a Kung Fu expert. Are you a Kung Fu expert?
I'm not a Kung Fu expert, but I do teach Kung Fu.
But
I
you can
do
chop
teach
some people
Northern.
up.
I do teach Northern Shaolin Kung Fu. I do not beat anyone up.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
a peaceful guy. I'm a peaceful guy.
You can't be around me and be peaceful, Stan. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, then.
So yeah, so reach out to Stan and he can also help you with your diet if you're looking to slowly. I mean, it's not easy to just jump off of that pork chop and that fried chicken. Trust me, I know the journey. So it's something that you may need some gradual assistance to get off of those type of foods. And it's something that you can do, you know, slowly, daily, weekly, monthly, until you reach the point of whatever your goal may be. Even if it's just to get off the meats, if it's something where you want to, you know, lower some of the dairy that you're taking in your body until you can get to that point of your healthy goal, your healthy mind, body, spirit, and soul. So Tanisha didn't come back. I don't know if she can get in. We wanted to talk about a second topic just for a couple of minutes. It won't be very long. And the second topic is lying to your children. So now we have a lot of our brothers and sisters celebrating the holidays. And we were talking earlier about the holiday that we call Christmas. And Stanley shared something with me about Santa Claus. And saying that Santa Claus came down that chimney and delivered all of those presents to your children. And you're telling this story about this big jolly fella who doesn't look like you or doesn't look like your children, who is delivering all of these wonderful, beautiful gifts to your children. And so my perspective was that you're not giving yourself credit. You're the one working the overtime or the second job to get those gifts for your children. So why not let your children know and acknowledge yourself so that your children can look up to you as opposed to someone else who doesn't even exist? So if you wanted to share something regarding that, Stanley.
Well, I'm in agreement with you on that part. But the other part is what we're doing is we're telling our children it's okay to lie, to fabricate. And that really breaks a trust when your own parent lies to you. My mom did, but I think I'm over it now.
Listen,
I think I'm over it now.
My parents lied to me, and until I found out from an outside source that there was no such thing as Santa Claus, and I chose not to raise my children that way. But I do get that a lot of people were taught this. And so
Mm-hmm.
each one teach one, and we have to share the knowledge with one another. And so I'm not saying that you're just going to stop cold turkey from believing in Santa Claus and telling your children about Santa Claus. So it's a gradual process where you want to do your research and do your due diligence about that particular person. And my thing is that, okay, if you're going to do it, at least make him a brother. At least make him. And while you at it, make him a healthy brother. You know, why he fat, he trying to get family. You know, he gonna drop off some fruit and vegetables and some Kangen water. You know,
Yeah. Ho,
that's a
ho, ho.
fat
You can have a
guy.
conga
You know.
under your tree. But yes, however, we really do need to be very cognizant and aware of these real serious things, because it's just not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to lie and create something that's not real. Then after a while, your children won't even believe you. Now, I never did tell my children there was a Santa Claus, because after, and I won't say it was a trauma for me, but when I found out, I'm like, that's not cool. And I grew up in the projects, well, for a few years, and we didn't even have chimneys. We had incinerators, okay? And most people's chimney ain't no fat guy gonna fit in chimney. So yes, but not really a deep subject, but a subject we really do need to be having, uh, as parents and relationships. Oh, which also brings me to another thing. A lot of problems and issues that we have with our health actually comes from things like that. That actually can be very traumatic, even though you say, oh, it's just a little fairy tale. Yes, but when you break a trust, that can be very hurtful and harmful. And if you don't have the emotional maturity to process an emotion, to deal with your emotions and process it can create long-lasting effects that will affect your health. And even David Witherspoon will tell you that that stress is a killer. As a matter of fact, there's 5 major things that I teach my clients that causes us these diseases: malnourishment, dehydration, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and stress. And not in any order. And most of us are suffering from all 5. We stay up late at night. We watch garbage TV and movies. We watch movies and shows that has nothing but killing, murders, and we're watching this for entertainment. So it's going in our minds, causing it, yes, messing us up. And our young people are desensitized to murder. And even when you have the good guys are murdering the bad guys because they did something wrong. And they're going to get revenge. And that's wrong. It messes up our mind. That messes us up psychologically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. But it's a norm. And it's not norm. When you hear somebody, one of your neighbors or family member died, it's so sad. Subconscious programming, absolutely. And we're being programmed all the time. So we have to guard our minds and guard our hearts. Be purposeful and intentional on your health. And your mental health is a direct effect on your physical health. People who are unforgiving can get things like colon cancer. Your emotional stress can break you down 20 ways to Sunday. That's why everything has to be right and be healthy. So,
Yes.
but I don't want to go too
Absolutely.
long. We've been on here for a while, and I don't want to put people to sleep.
Yes. One last comment. The Christmas tree is the mind, and the presence is your thoughts of manifestation that you're direct up the tree of manifestation. Okay. Wow. Thank you, 2 British nerds. Good to see you on the live. Okay, guys, I want to say thank you for being with us this evening and for partaking in this show tonight. If you have any questions, is there anything you want to know, reach out to Abundantly Wealthy Stan at the email scrolling at the bottom or call him on the phone number. And remember, we want you to be healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yes. Yes.
So, with that said, I want to bid you all farewell and have a wonderful rest of your holiday, whatever holiday that is that you may be celebrating. Miss Bliss is
Yes.
not just
Happy Hanukkah.
exactly. Have a good night, guys. Mwah.
Good night.
Love you.
Love you more.